Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, hidden in the shadows, just out of sight? What if you discovered they weren't just watching, but waiting? On a remote farmstead in the Bavarian countryside of Germany, a story unfolded in 1922 that would send chills down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. Hinterkaifeck, an isolated property surrounded by dense forests, became the setting for one of the most horrifying and perplexing crimes in history. The Gruber family lived on the farm. Andreas, the domineering patriarch, his wife, Kazilia, their widowed daughter, Victoria, her two young children, Tazilia and Joseph, and the maid, Maria. To outsiders, they appeared as an ordinary family, but within the walls of Hinterkaifeck, secrets and shadows brewed. In the weeks leading up to the tragedy, strange events began to plague the farm. Andreas mentioned hearing footsteps in the attic, but when he checked, no one was there. The family dog barked endlessly at the darkness beyond the windows. Even more chilling, Andreas found a set of footprints in the snow leading to the house, but none leading away. Despite these ominous signs, the family stayed put, dismissing the growing sense of dread that seemed to seep into the air. On a cold March evening, something unimaginable unfolded. One by one, each member of the Gruber family was lured to the barn. The killer was methodical, their weapon a heavy, rusted mattock, a farming tool designed for breaking soil, but now used for breaking skulls. Andreas was the first to die. His face was smashed beyond recognition, his skull split open, and his eyes left wide, staring into the void. Kazilia, his wife, followed, her screams echoing into the night before being silenced by the sickening crunch of bone. Victoria was next, her head struck so brutally that fragments of her skull embedded themselves into the wooden floor. Little Kazilia, only 7 years old, wasn't spared. Her small body was found twisted, her nails bloodied and broken from clawing at her own face, a desperate reaction to the horrors she witnessed. The killer then moved inside the house. Baby Joseph, asleep in his crib, was mercilessly bludgeoned, his fragile skull caved in. Finally, the maid, Maria, hired only a day before, met the same gruesome fate. Her blood soaked the mattress beneath her face unrecognizable. What made the murders even more horrifying was what happened after. For days, the killer stayed on the farm. Neighbors reported seeing smoke rising from the chimney, and the family's livestock was fed and cared for. The farmhouse remained eerily quiet, but inside, the blood-soaked walls bore silent witness to the horror. When neighbors finally discovered the bodies, the scene they encountered was nightmarish. The barn reeked of death, and the mutilated bodies lay in pools of congealed blood. The house was eerily tidy, except for the rooms where Maria and Joseph were killed, their blood still smeared on the walls. Investigators noted the strange calmness of the animals, as though they too were silenced by the evil that had unfolded. Despite an extensive investigation, no one was ever charged. Theories ranged from a vengeful lover to a deranged drifter hiding in the shadows. Some even whispered of supernatural forces, suggesting the killer wasn't human at all. The footprints leading to the house and stopping there seemed to taunt investigators, as if the killer had emerged from nowhere and vanished into thin air. What makes the Hinterkaifeck murders so chilling isn't just the brutality, but the lingering mystery. Who could commit such a calculated, monstrous act and then live among the carnage as if nothing had happened? Were they watching from the trees as the neighbors approached? Did they take something with them when they left, or leave something behind? What do you think? Was this the work of a human killer, or does something more sinister lurk in the shadows of Hinterkaifeck? Could it be possible that the entity haunting the family in the days before had manifested its ultimate wrath? Don't forget to subscribe for more scary, mysterious, and haunting stories.